Hmm. So, for those of you who were sitting around waiting, I apologize. I've been sitting here, camera ready to go, lights up, headphones in. I was typing up a little letter and all that stuff like that. And then I came to start the thing and then just wouldn't go. YouNow was just very buggy this morning. And it could be that, I don't know, it could be that a lot of people are trying to get on the internet or it could be my connection anyway. So I'm happy to see y'all. But yes, look, y'all, stuff is up. First of all, I hope people can hear me, and I hope when I finally am able to see you, that we will be able to talk about whether you can hear me. Ananda, good morning. Good morning. How lovely to see your handle up there. That's me giving you some love. Anyway, so y'all, things are just so much going on. There's so much going on. And this, it's not clickbait. It's really, hello, hello. It's not clickbait. It's not clickbait. This may be the last live stream for a while. And who knows, it may be the last live stream because none of us are guaranteed, but this could be the last live stream for a while. And I'm going to talk to you about why today and hopefully get some of y'all feedback on what's been going on. But oh, so many different directions. So, first of all, I'm really excited because we started rehearsals yesterday for Off the Hook, which is a program that I do with young people in the Red Hook area of Brooklyn, New York City. And we have 4 playwrights, which is a full complement. That is as many as the program will hold because then we've cast their plays and we'll be doing like fully producing them on the 6th and the 7th of April. One of them is a musical. One of them is a full-on fantasy. One of them is a murder mystery. Yeah, so it's like a whole, these kids, they did a great job. And forgive me for people who don't like the word kids. I use the word kids. And until somebody comes up with a reason why kids is not good, because I call all of y'all the kids, honestly. All of y'all are the kids. So I don't mean that in a bad way, but these young playwrights did a really great job, and I am looking forward to a great show. And it is very likely that one of the plays that these young playwrights have written is going to be taken to the Pedagogy and Theater of the Oppressed conference that will be in Indiana, Pennsylvania at Indiana University of Pennsylvania in June. And that conference is running from the 7th through the 10th with a pre-conference starting on June 5th with Julian Boal, whose father is Augusto Boal, who developed the Theater of the Oppressed starting in Brazil and then when they were living in exile all around Europe and all around just everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. So I'm very, very thrilled about that. And I've been doing a lot of outreach. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. That's one of the things we're going to talk about today is like outreach and like what real solidarity is and what it means to be a practitioner of theater of the oppressed, which is a tool for really raising people's consciousness around their own realities and how oppression plays a role in that, and how not just like being like, oh, this is how oppression shows up in my life, but here are some things I can do when I'm in oppressive situations to start to transform my own world. So all of those things are that's all stuff that I'd like to talk to you about today, if you'd be interested in that. So the first thing is that, after the off the hook, we go right into rehearsals. In fact, we start rehearsals for Black Conference, which I'm very thrilled to say has been cast almost fully. There's still one role that's like this close to being cast. This close to being cast. And it was a very difficult role because it was a role that required someone who can sing, someone who can play the piano, somebody who can act, somebody who was of a certain age. And so there's a lot of things coming together for this little community theater production of Black Conference. There's also several opportunities that have come up. Well, listen on YouTube. Can't stay connected to you now. Oh, okay. All right. Tom, good morning. It was great to see you. Ah, okay. So here's the thing, and this may I don't know if it's going to be a real, if it's going to be really short or anything like that. I don't know. But time has been so precious these days because I have all of these things that are happening at the same time. There's a convergence of all of these things. So one is the show with the plays with the youth. The other is the Black Conference. The other is the Pedagogy and Theater of the Oppressed Conference. And Black Conference is a play. The Pedagogy and Theater of the Oppressed Conference is an actual conference. And there's a lot happening in the city around worker cooperatives. There's going to be a worker cooperative conference coming up. The Left Forum is coming. So it's like it's a real convergence of a lot of different things that are happening at the same time. And I'm tangentially, at least, involved in all of them. And so trying to maintain a YouTube schedule and a YouNow schedule when y'all know this does not, it's not even about paying the bills. I don't want to say that because it's not about paying the bills. Um, I miss you all when I don't see you, when I'm not connecting to you, when I'm not having these moments, because it's in some ways it's a little bit like keeping a journal, because what I'm thinking about is being expressed out here in the open, and it's a interactive journal because then you give me your thoughts, and then that shapes what I'm thinking, and then I can go away at least for a week, and then yeah, thank you, and then I can go away at least for a week, have some more thoughts about it, and bring them back, and we can continue the conversation. But it's just getting very difficult to do that. I'll be having rehearsals every weekend, and so I won't even have this slot free. Not to mention that most of the rest of my time is filled with, if not work as the artistic director of a theater company, the volunteer work that I do on the boards of these several organizations. I've also been so neglectful of my role as chair of the board of the cooperation group and then secretary of the board of Solidarity. So Chris says, my husband says, that I'm doing too many things that I don't get paid for. And I hate to think about it like that because I don't want everything to be reduced to this like exchange, like this, like these transactions. Like I'm doing this because I'm doing these things because it's work that needs to be done and somebody has to do them. I don't have to necessarily be the person to do them, but there's nobody else who's doing them right now. And so I'm the person who's doing them. And yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I have a Jesus complex or something like that, and I may be writing about that. I actually have a piece that I have been working on for Sister Vegan Project 2, which may or may not get accepted. I don't know, but I'm trying to write a piece for Sister Vegan Project 2. So a shout out to Dr. Amy Breeze Harper and AFCO, who I believe are both in the role of editor on that publication. So also if you were excited about, if you like the Sister Vegan Project, be excited because Sister Vegan Project 2 is going to be coming out sometime soon. All right, so this work on Black Conference has brought me in very close contact with a lot of people who are part of the New York City Worker Cooperative Business Development Initiative, which is an initiative that's, I believe it started in 2013, if not 2012, where a lot of money was given to organizations to help seed the development of worker cooperatives, more worker cooperatives in the city. And I tend to come into these things as a true believer. So I did a training as a CBO, as part of a CBO that was going to be developing cooperatives and ended up developing a cooperative. It was a marketing cooperative. It was, I want to say it was fairly successful in terms of the response that it got from people. They had business, they had more business than they could handle. In fact, they had more business than they had the capacity as young people who were recent graduates from high school who were kind of thinking about, well, do I want to go to college and do I want to do other things? Hey, Lolo. Um, so being a part of this movement, I've found that it's great to be part of something where the principles that underlie it are solidarity, are collective action, are cooperation, right? These are the principles that underlie these things, and these are the principles that I have always embraced because I like to play. And games are more fun when people are, together and agree on the rules, right? And agree that they're going to follow the rules. And these are all things that are part of just play and having fun with other people. And so I think of my work in the cooperative movement as a big kind of way that to have fun and to joy and enjoy other people and to have that communion, fellowship with other people, which is why I really enjoyed my trip to church the other day. More on that in some other video, but not today. So what I am finding, however, is even in this solidarity economy, there are individuals who still seem to fall back on those hierarchical, right? Those models that everybody's just really comfortable. I just want somebody to be in the boss and tell me what to do, right? And it's not that the people who are parts of cooperatives are that way, but there are certain co-ops that emerge as the leaders in this work, right? And generally, the cooperatives that emerge as the leaders in this work are the ones that are financially the most successful, right? And sometimes they're financially the most successful, or the groups that are part of this work that are financially the most successful, or is that they are representing groups who have been privileged and have had access to resources anyway, and maybe they're engaging those resources in a way that is more democratic or is more progressive. But the fact of the matter is not quite ever relinquishing that control over all of it, right? We get to say what it looks like, we get to say where it goes, we get to say who gets to play and who doesn't get to play. And so I'm getting confronted with a little bit of that, and it's a little tiring, especially when, a lot of these people are in positions where they get paid a lot of money and I get paid almost nothing. I mean, I do most of this work, as I said before, as volunteer work. Golden hello. Welcome, and welcome to whoever the YouNow person who is watching who's not showing up with their name. By the way, y'all, you also be really proud of me. I'm number one on social justice, but I'm always number one on social justice because I may be alone on social justice. I don't know. I'm sure there's some other people, but I always enjoy the fact that I'm number one on social justice anyway. So there's me wanting to have my authority. There's my hierarchy. Um, so that's a little bit of what I'm addressing there. And what's interesting is the piece talks about all this stuff, and I'm not trying to harp on things, but I think one of the reasons that people are excited about the piece is because the piece talks about these things, but they're things that are so clearly present in our community. And so, what is it going to be like for people to be hearing people saying out loud as part of this play, talking about the problems that exist within our community when they feel like they're there to support it? So it's just this weird thing. It's just so weird. Anyway, so that's all that. And then the other place where I'm having some troubles, y'all, is that I'm part of an organization that it's a social justice organization. I'm going to say that. It's a social justice organization. And I think that there's enough self-reflection for people to realize within that organization that some of the oppressive ways of structuring groups is present within that organization. But I found myself being kind of called in to help smooth things in several areas where people felt, I'm going to say this, having a brown person speak on the behalf of the organization would be helpful. And that's been great. But I had a little premonition. I had a premonition when I was being asked to be in that position that the same reason that there were issues in the first place where they needed someone with a brown face to speak for the organization are very likely going to start manifesting in my relationship with this organization. I have just a vague feeling that that's coming. Just felt it. And lo and behold, over the last week or so, as I've been trying to be very hands off and very like, I don't want to be the spokesperson for all brown people, as I've been being that person, I've found that with certain people in the organization that my relationship has been starting to become a little bit toxic, and it's around the ways that people are just inconsiderate. And I'm a 50 something year old man. I just had a birthday. I'm a 52-year-old man, right? So I'm like, and it's not like you can't tell me anything, but not even a child should have their words, just like not considered, right? Or just have like the things that they bring to the table. You should have, when you bring something to the table, it should be considered, right? And when you offer your, not expertise, but when you just offer your hands, right? When you offer your hands to help in something, yeah, it was my birthday, thank you. So when you offer your hands for something, when people offer you their support, you either find a way to accept that, or you tell them and explain to them why um, it's not possible right now for you to either, you know, like you need to have some time, more time to think about it. You need whatever it is that you need, but you have to be transparent about why it is that you're not accepting what people are offering. Because otherwise, it's like, oh, wait, I just offered to help on this thing. This person is telling me that they're really busy, and I just told them that I had some spare time, and they're not answering my calls and they're not answering my emails, right? And so, like, I'm left with the suspicion, like, why is it that they feel like my help you know, isn't going to be valuable for whatever reason? And then, of course, things, go on and on and on, and it turned out that that person just ended up in the weeds. Person just ended up in the weeds. And the reason that they gave for ending up in the weeds is that they didn't have any support. And so I have not just come out and said, are you, did you like really? Like, do you really want me to pull up the emails and do you really want me to show you my phone logs and all that stuff like that? But I was like, not doing that, right? No, I'm not in the weeds. I'm not in the weeds. This person is in the weeds. But this person is the way that they're responding to being in the weeds is they're kind of like turning it on. Like now the people who were trying to be helpful, they're like turning it on them and like you were like you're stop trying to tell me that I'm not good. Stop trying to tell me that I'm not good enough. And it's like that's not really what it is. It's like this thing has to get done and we're trying to do this thing together, right? And the fact that most of this is happening in writing, and so that we can go back and track like this is exactly what was said, is great. There's sometimes when it's not in writing, and when it's not in writing, and that is where this just things go awry, and that's why things should be always put in writing whenever an agreement is made. um so but now, I'm gonna come right out. Now the person wants mediation with me, and I'm like, "Ooh, you need mediation with me? No, I don't want to have mediation with you. Why do I want to give you any more of my time?" When, all I've tried to be is helpful, and you can't seem to figure out how to engage with me so that I can help you. So I don't want to go into mediation with you so that you can feel it, so that you can figure out how I can help you, right? Mediation is like if I'm coming at you and you don't know you like and you feel like I'm attacking you, if you're feeling attacked and you don't know how to speak to me about that, then maybe we can have mediation. But that's not what's happening here. What's happening here is like, it's just trying to say, okay, this didn't happen. Let's stop talking about why it didn't happen and let's just figure out how to fix it. And that's not sitting well with this person. They really want to spend most of the time making excuses, and mostly making excuses for other people who they did engage with, not for necessarily help. Well, yeah, for help. And it was people that, for whatever reason they were trying to build a relationship with, but that person didn't really have what they needed. And so, yeah. Yeah, so it's sort of like they want someone to blame, but it's not someone to blame because there's no way to blame me for what happened, right? But you can blame me for like adding to the psychological weight that you're feeling that makes it impossible for you to do your work, right? And I don't mean to belittle that because sometimes that is the case. Yeah, it is the case. But that's like, go to a therapist, go see somebody, go talk to a friend about the way that the fact that you're feeling those things. Um, and they're real and they're valid, but that's not my work. And it's really, I think what really becomes crummy about it is, and I don't know if this, because I don't think about, you know, the 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 race or where people are from, but as someone who is perceived as a brown person and, you know, tries to be cool, tries to like flow with everybody, but when it's put on you to deal with other people's inability to deal with race, when that's put on you, like not like you're not like trying to intervene and be like, I'm going to be the voice of race, but when it's put on you to be the voice of race and your response is like, I don't want to do that, I don't really want to do that, let me just be a person, let me just be one person, and let's acknowledge the fact that if we can't, if we if we're not, if we don't have a capacity, if we're not good at unpacking race, then we admit that we're not good at unpacking race. We don't send the one black person in and pretend that we're better at unpacking race, right? So we don't do that. But then on top of it, just be a little bit sensitive to the fact that, you have somebody who's already on eggshells because they know that everybody's uncomfortable about race. Like if I know that everybody's uncomfortable about race and I'm trying not to make it the center of everything, then don't turn around and like then make me the center of anything. You know? Don't put me on the under the spotlight or under the microscope at all, right? Just like go deal with your stuff, understand that stuff is going on. And I don't, and I'm not sure that that's like completely clear because part of it is, like I said, I'm just journaling, I'm thinking out loud and seeing what all of you think about it. But it just becomes, yeah, it becomes a weird thing, right? I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe not right. So that's where I am with that, y'all. And that's what's taking up a lot of my time. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm trying to get to the gym. I'm trying to hit that gym every day, y'all. I just have like I my if I don't go to the gym, I wake up and my bones don't work. Things don't work. And this is something I don't know if any of you are older, but you may discover that. I don't know, you may have a similar experience. Um, Thanks, Golden Morn. It makes sense. It's like you're not responsible for educating everyone. Thank you. Yes. 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 Absolutely. You said people need to do the work to understand things for themselves. Yes. Yes. And this is, I think, where the issue lies, is that these are not in spaces where people aren't aware. These are in spaces where people, like the very coming together in that space is about having that understanding. And I think people get there and they feel like, oh, I didn't take the 101 for this course. And I'm right here, I'm at advanced. And I say that a lot. I say this is advanced, right? But yeah, Goldmorn, or else you exhaust yourself and they think they've, yeah, yes, 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 yes. Okay, we're together. We're together. Oh, Goldmorn, I hope you're well. I hope you're well. I want to know about where you are. Where are you in the world? I think you moved. I want to say, I don't want to put your location on blast, but I think you moved to, did you move to Toronto? Is that my understanding? And I know that we have been I know we have to be out of touch because I'm asking you about something that's probably super settled. Yes, I'm still out here in Toronto. Yep, I've kind of fallen out of the world a bit, but trying. Yeah, okay, good, good, good. Been out of touch for real. And is it, Goldmorn, is it that you are someplace remote? Trey Ligo, welcome. Welcome, welcome to the broadcast. So for those of you joining us late, I have titled this The Last Live Stream. And I just want to let y'all know it's going to be the last live stream for a while. It's going to be impossible. My Saturdays and Sundays are going to be packed. Yeah, hey. Trey Lagos says, hey. No, right in the midst of Goldmore says, no, not right in the midst of things, but a lot in life as we adjust to higher cost, but worth it. And what last live stream? Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, and I say last live stream is just because my Saturdays and Sundays are going to be full with rehearsals for the show because we're a community theater, y'all. We do pay a stipend, and probably more of a stipend than most community theaters pay, but it's not enough for people to live on. So we basically cover, people's cost to participate. Goldmore, I want to get back to you though. Let's see, some other folks have come in. Let's see, suggestion. Periscope is much better than YouNow. Okay, check. So I should check out Periscope. Now, is the idea that I'm gonna be able to have Periscope? Oh, that's something that I might do. Is I might have the phone with me and check in with everyone while I'm in rehearsal, and say hello to and introduce you to the cast and things like that. Kind of like what I did with Ready Set Go Race, only like way way less produced. Like no intro music, no dancing, no dancing outro. Um, Wish I could see the production. You might. Trey Legal, where are you? It's going to be a touring show. So it is very likely that the show could come to where you are. And that includes if you're in another country. Because, yes, the intention is to have the show go everywhere. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Oh, by the way, I don't want to give away too much. Goldmore, just so you know, the PTO conference is very, very, it could possibly, if we, I know some people at the Shaw Festival. I think it's the Shaw Festival, and I might be able to figure out how to get some dates. It wouldn't be right away. It would be like we're talking these things, tours generally get planned 2 years out, so it would probably not be until 2020. Um, so just keeping that in mind, y'all. In fact, I think the next time that I could write the grant that would likely cover the cost of the tour, would be a year from today. And so it would be very likely that we would be booking the first dates in 2020. However, well, no sooner, but we are the PTO, the Pedagogy Theater of the Oppressed Inc., which is the national organization that produces the Pedagogy and Theater of the Oppressed Conference, which I've talked about. June 5th through 10th. I'm just going to say June 5th through 10th because it starts with a pre-conference with Julian Bowall, and then the conference itself starts on the 7th through the 10th. All right. And the Julian Bowall days are amazing. And there are also going to be pre-conference activities happening in Pittsburgh. So if you're around the Pittsburgh area, Ohio, other places in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, check it out. Okay. So all that said, um, we want to try to produce the conference outside of, because we really think of it as an international conference, and people do come from all around the world, and we just think it's unreasonable to expect people to always be coming to the United States. And so we're considering, keeping it easy and Toronto, and I think there's actually a connection in Toronto. So Goldmore, if I end up in Toronto, you know very much that we will be having tea. We'll be having tea. It's as simple as that. Yes. So, absolutely. Absolutely. And I say tea because I want to have tea with you. I want to have tea with you. So, let's see what else is going on. So, the conference is coming up. Uh, there are other opportunities, not necessarily as the touring company, but just with this work in Theater of the Oppressed and around the tour, around the play itself and the development of the play, and Jessica Gordon Nemhard, who wrote a book called Black Conference that I believe I have mentioned was the inspiration for the play. We've been invited to several places around the country to come and talk about the work. So that's kind of cool. It's actually kind of cool. I actually like the idea that this play means that I'm probably going to get to do a lot of traveling. I will likely be in LA. I think I mentioned this, Ananda, that I'm going to be in LA in September, and that is definite. I mean, that's my intention. Like that's like, oh, maybe like my intention is to go. And unless something happens that's going to stop me from getting there. There are a lot of vegans in LA. That's good to know. That's good to know because I am having trouble keeping the vegans on board. Last year, the conference was all vegan. I don't know if you all remember. And I pushed and I pushed and I pushed. But this year, it's not working out so well because it's at a university and the university has vendors that they work with. Not cool. And a particular well-known food vendor that I'm sure if I told you the name of them, you would all be appalled. That's the vendor. So cool. A bazillion vegans and people of color in LA. That's good to know. That's good to know. Um, I would not say it, but I could tell you that they are a remarkable company. That's and if you can't figure it out from that, you forget it. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're fired. No, you're not fired, but that's the best. That's the closest to a clue that I will say that allows me some plausible deniability. Um, oh, you're in Houston. Oh, definitely. Not maybe not Houston, but definitely this play needs to be in Texas. Definitely. Um, yeah, definitely. And you know what? How far is Houston from Austin? And the reason I ask you that is because the people that I'm that I the people there I started writing the play because I was supporting this cooperation group that I'm the chair of the board. Oh, that's cool to know. Okay, that's cool to know. I was, and this grant, by the way, that I'm thinking about applying for, the reason that they give the grant to bring experimental works to places where those types of work would normally not go. So it is more likely that we would be in some small town outside of Houston, but like reasonably close to Houston that people could go. But we could also do another stop in Houston. But the whole point of the grant is to take place to places where people normally wouldn't see this kind of work. So what else? So y'all, I'm gonna have to keep this one short because there's so much other stuff that I have to jump into now, and I actually have a board meeting with Cooperation Group today, and one of our board members is kind of down because they had a death in their family. So I want to be, yeah, I want to just make sure that I have enough time to be prepared and to be thoughtful about what this today's meeting is going to be about because it's likely going to be about some of it's going to be about taking care of that person. So, yes, it was wonderful to see all of you and hang out with you for a while and not talk your ears off completely, but share with you some of the challenges and triumphs that I've been having recently, and to know that you're not going to see me. You're not going to see much of me on YouTube. You're not going to see me on these Sundays. And so, um, if not, have you been Black on Zoom is Black on the local? Okay, I have not been, but thank you for and I'm gonna put this to you, Trey Legal. If you can, I'll do some work. But if you know someone that's connected to that theater, I'll be on the phone with them tomorrow. And you know how to reach me, right? You know how to reach me through the Ask Me One. Actually, I have to check all my emails, y'all. Y'all, my emails might be down. I'm migrating all my websites. So send me a private message through YouTube if you want to reach me. Yeah, so I'm saying that. Send me a private message through YouTube if you want to reach me over the next couple of weeks because my site is down. And I was able to migrate most of my sites without too much trouble, but that means that I have to set up new emails for all of them, I realized, even though, yeah, I have to set up new emails for everything. So Reg Flowers, ask me one at regflowers.com is probably not going to be working for the next couple of days. And the Reg Flowers, if you go to regflowers.com right now, you're going to get an error message because something happened last night in the migration where it didn't happen. So that's that. Yeah, don't hit me up on Twitter. Y'all, don't hit me up on Twitter. It should be called crickets. Because I do not, yeah, don't hit me up on Twitter. You can hit me up on Facebook. Takes me a little bit longer to get back on Facebook. I'm actually not that great about private messages on YouTube, but I will since it's the only way people can reach me. But yeah, yeah, yeah. But the Ask Me One is has been the best way for people to reach me because it's an email. It comes directly to me. You can also hit me up through FalconWorks. Um, if you go to the redhooktheater.com, I mean redhooktheater.org website, and just send an email to info, you can also hit me up there. Yeah, so there's ways to get me. If you do an internet search for me, you will find a way to get to me, which is a little bit scary. Which is a little bit scary when I think about it. Okay, y'all, that's it. That's it. So much love. All right. Ananda says, anti-Facebook. All right. I'm not going to expect that from you. But now you know you can hit me up through, if you do a search for FalconWorks Theater Company, you will find me. You can go to Red Hook Theater, and that's theater with an ER, theater.org. You can get me through there. Yeah, everyone, please, please be well. All right, y'all, that's it for this live stream. Those of you watching on YouTube, like this if you like it, share it, comment, subscribe. This is Rach signing off. Love yourselves. Peace.